Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, Traders Pro. Market conditions still stuck here in this mildly bullish in a bull market. We definitely are continuing to see more bullish bias than we are bearish, at least intraday when we're kind of seeing what the market's doing. You're seeing these pullbacks. Yesterday was kind of a gap higher, then a pullback down, and then continued buying into those pullbacks. So that's part of the adjustment here when we shift back up into this upper trend, is that bias can then shift back to buying the dips, buying the pullbacks. And but that being said, we just are not seeing any confirmation. There's no real conviction quite yet in this market. Momentum stuck in the trending range. We're kind of in this sideways range. Breadth is also stuck right there in the middle. And so these indicators are doing their job in terms of letting us know that we're just not we're just not moving. There's just not a lot of confirmation quite yet in this rally. That being said, this little counter trend right here, this uptrend and then consolidation phase, is still looking quite bullish currently. Buy-sell ratio still stuck in this just a little bit bearish tone. So we really got a lot of conflicting signals right here, which is not a super bullish market condition. We already know that based on the economics that's happening right now. Interest rates, inflation, earnings are coming in decent, and we're seeing some movement definitely in tech. So we'll keep an eye on some of those locations. A few different things to be aware of today. The Dow Jones Industrials, we've been watching this. I'll point this out from time to time, but we're down to 5. We were up to 10, so we've got some stocks moving the other direction, quite a few back into that sell range now. So this is a little bit more bearish as far as the Dow is concerned, because these are your top 30, these are kind of the top 30 companies. That's really not a large sample size. That's why I don't love to use the Dow as kind of a main indicator. I prefer the S&P 500. But even there, you can see S&P 500, 125 in hold, almost 200 on the sell side. And so we've just got a ratio that, in this case, it's less than 1. Okay, one being equilibrium, equal number of buys per sell for sells. Now we've got essentially, double the amount of sells that you do on the buys for the S&P 500 in a downtrend. That's not a good solid bullish trend, and we know that because that momentum indicator and breadth indicator are also confirming that. That's also a quick glance to kind of give a little idea of what some of these indices are doing internally as far as that breakdown. On the sectors, we've got just a really strange setup on the leading sectors right now: construction, aerospace, industrial products. Although, that being said, a lot are moving in this medical group. One of the reasons why this medical group is not higher on the list is because there's so many stocks in that group. And so it takes a lot more of the stocks to be able to have the rank, because this is the average rank of the entire group. So you've got just a lot more stocks that you're dealing with an average. Okay, you do have a positive buy-sell ratio, though. So keep an eye when you're looking at that. Let me just highlight that. You've got the buy-sell ratio here for this medical group. So it really is the internals of that are positive. It's a strong moving industry and sector. But the average of all those stocks, there's just more of them, so it's a little bit lower. Whereas in some of these other ones, the average, there's not quite as many stocks, particularly in that construction. You do have a really good buy-sell ratio, though, so you can kind of glance through that and see which ones are. This unclassified one is a lot of those. If you remember a couple of years back with all the SPACs that were being issued, a lot of those are falling into that. So they're just not quite classified in our data vendor that is being provided. So you can take a look and see if there's anything interesting there. But sometimes this is just kind of a skewed number, and there may be some value in some of those you can take a look at, but for the most part, they are garbage. Okay, so those are keep an eye on that in terms of when you're glancing at this sector and some leading stocks and leading sectors. The construction, let's take a look at those top 55, because you've got some really interesting patterns right here. You've got really strong uptrends, construction and engineering. You've got a home builder here, Hovanian, breaking out, nice solid uptrend as well. You've got comfort systems, air conditioning and heating. So you're seeing some strength in that building sector. Pulte Group, which is another home builder, large national home builder, and Beazer Homes. Those patterns have just been consistently higher, which is very interesting considering where interest rates are at. So the market may be considering that interest rates are not going to be going higher, that that there's going to be more demand back in the home building location. That's kind of that mental process of going through and we don't always want to try and figure out what the market is doing. We just want to follow what the market is doing. And in this case, the market is leading into home builders right now, or construction in general, looking for more upside on that. So interesting place to keep your eye on currently. As a muscle stocks group, let's take a quick glance here. We had a tanker stock, transportation, had a big gap higher, but a nice looking consolidation pattern. Big uptrend, nice counter trend pattern. If we were to throw a Fibonacci retracement on there, it's probably right around that buy zone. It is 50% retracement, bounce, moving higher. The gaps, as always, create a little bit of an issue, but in this case, it's not too deeply into that upper extreme range. So an interesting stock to watch for today. And this stock has been a high flyer when it does move, and the internals on it are good as well. Part of these tanker stocks, because of the supply backup, they were just completely booked, and so they could actually raise prices. They had just a lot of pricing control, and they had booked out shippings. Now, I don't know what that looks like currently, but something positive is happening here in that particular stock. Nice looking breakout. And MAXN, a solar stock, we're seeing a real big pop in solar. This one has been, continuing to trend to that lower left to upper right. That's the formation you want to look for, and but a big gap there. FLNC, all of these are kind of dealing with gaps. Not a good-looking bar on the gap, where it gaps higher, moves lower, tons of volatility. We'll see what that does on any kind of continuation. VIPS, potential breakout, getting very close to that upper range. Could be a really strong breakout if it continues to close and stay right up above this upper area. So keep an eye on that. VIPS, it's a mover. It can move. It went from 7 to 15 in this last trend. Lots of whipsaw consolidation right here, but again, a good solid bar, potential breakout. Could be some real nice upside to VIPS. And one of the other stocks that was a little deeper in the list, in fact, just some good-looking stocks in there today, but deeper in the list, if I go down to it, see if we can find it right here. It's about 10 down, Netflix. So Netflix is kind of coming back to life again in the last 12 months or so, all the way from 170 up to 300. The yearly return about 100%. So seeing some strength there. Some of the changes that they've made maybe starting to work. You're seeing last quarter EPS 2,300, probably more cost cutting than anything else because sales were relatively flat, but nonetheless a good solid confirmation bar sitting right at the buy momentum location for today. If you don't have full access to the site and software, we've got a really good special going on today. You can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.